What's up, guys? It is Tactic Game here today, and we got some Battlefield 2042 for you. And today we're going to be talking about the 5.20 patch notes today, and let's get it. And I'll let you guys know that I won't be able to talk about everything in the patch notes, but I will leave a link in the description below. But no further ado, and it says here on the patch notes, with this release, we fulfilled our commitment that we made to you during the last year's lead up to the launch of Season 1 0 Hour. We have now reworked all the launch maps. We'd like to thank you for your continued feedback, but also your patience as we worked to roll out these improvements to you and let us know how Hourglass feels. Also, it says here, we're also completing the work to roll out the last set of all-out warfare attachments to the SMGs, LMGs, and sidearms for the Vault weapons. You will also find further tweaks to these weapons to ensure the gameplay and versatility matches all all-out warfare counterparts. Share your thoughts on the feels of the changes, and as we'll be making adjustments if necessary. Alongside Season 5 New Dawn, we also made our first iteration of squad management improvements available to you. However, it told us that this feature did not feel complete without the kick and lock functionality, as it didn't offer the leaders full control over their squad. No matter our previous reasoning for intentionally including these options, you told us this functionality is crucial in your squad management experience, so we're adding both of these features. Squad orders are also included in this update. Work together to complete objectives and earn additional XP. All combined, we hope this offers you squad management experience you're looking for, and send us your thoughts. The team is excited to get the game update in your hands and cover full areas of feedback that we've been looking to action. We cannot wait for you to play it. Now here's some of the details for the reworked map of Hourglass, and it says here, let's take a look at what's new reworked version of Hourglass. We have reduced overall size of Hourglass to keep the combat focus while having more opportunity to defend yourself through added and cover along primary routes and where you find action. You'll also notice remnants of combat that has taken over the time throughout the map, alongside increased military presence and new fortified positions. Now, I'm not going to go over the positions, but I will have, like I said before, the full link in the description below. You can see all the patch notes. Now to the next thing, being the Vault weapon attachments, and as it says here, with SMGs and LMGs as the Vault weapons to receive all-out warfare attachments, the rollout is now complete across all weapon categories. And the Vault weapons that will get attachments in this one is the P90, the AKS-74U, the PP2000, the M60E4, the XM8 LMG, the M24B, and the Type 88 LMG, and the RPK-74 have their damage curve and dispersion recoil behavior accuracy tweaked to feel more consistent with all-out warfare counterparts as the viable competitive options. In addition, the Vault sidearms also receive all-out warfare attachments where possible. Since this large rebalance injection into the game, we are monitoring the feedback and data post update. We are ready to make further changes, and we hope you enjoy in discovering new ways to play as you interact with moment-to-moment engagements. Now, that is some really good news that we're going to get all three at once, which I can't wait. Hope there isn't any problems or any dysfunctionalities. It does say here that they are going to be monitoring and make sure there's probably do a post update for them, which is a good thing. Now, the next thing I think you'll like here is the ammo crates, and it says here the ammo crates now have shared supply cooldown between other deployed ammo crates. Ammo and medic crates will now have recharge time to 16 seconds, down from 30. Ammo crates will now supply 15 instead of 20 seconds. Ammo crates now give off extra magazines to both primary and secondary weapons, and the dev comment says here, we made these changes for a couple reasons, one being that we want to reduce instances where players are instantly gaining masses of supplies from multiple crates in a short period of time. The second being we heard the feedback about the crates cooldown being too long, and aforementioned change that allow us to lower this without breaking the game balance. And the next big change is the anti-tank grenade. It says here, fix an issue where the anti-tank grenades could bounce off a vehicle without detonation while the vehicle is moving away from the thrower. And then it says C5, fix an issue with the C5 could bounce off other C5 that was already attached to the target. Made improvements towards some cases where throwing C5 at a fast moving vehicle would often not stick. You can no longer interact with or pick up C5 and claymores through large foliage structures such as tree trunks. And the next big change is the dispersion tweaks, and it says here, similar to the dispersion changes that were made to assault rifles, SMGs and LMGs are now also tweaks the dispersion rates along general dispersion improvements across weaponry. Also it says here, SMGs now have a higher starting dispersion, but the maximum dispersion at the rate which it reaches now comparable to the assault rifles. Then the rate of which dispersion increases and the minimum dispersion while moving has increased for the LMGs. And this is fix an issue where the stopping dispersion penalties from being applied correctly while under specific circumstances. These are now being applied designed should provide more consistent and fair experience for all players. Fix the inconsistencies with calculated weapons dispersion when the player is moving. Vault SMGs have their spread and shooting behavior tuned to make them more consistent and viable against all warfare alternatives. Bipods are now effective against dispersion, and recoil LMGs compensate for these changes. And the last thing we're going to be talking about is the vehicle changes. And as it says here, fix an issue with the rollout of the F-35E Panther after using the VTOL mode. The Su-57 Felon has also received a some rollout rate resolution. And then it says here, radar missiles should no longer lock onto stealth helicopters and hit through flares. This may still happen close range due to the vicinity of the vehicle and the flare activation. Passengers will now get hints such as when to reload. And then it says, fix an issue that caused the LACA hovercraft M2040 Hind and the MV-38 Condor not to have functional directional exiting. Add a directional exit to ground vehicles, allowing you to exit vehicles from the direction you're looking at, and add an additional exit points to the back of the combat ground vehicles to allow you exit behind the vehicle if you want to. Fix an issue where they cause tanks to turrets to twitch, and when turning the tank decoupled, aimed, abled while giving the target lock input. Fix an issue that causes a second shot of the purely visual no damage of the 20mm flat to appear in third person even if one shot had been fired. Fix an issue that caused victims of the MVK V90 Torque recannon to not have any visual feedback of the projectile trail. Fixed a long-standing issue with the resulted black screen being presented in when switching between zoom in and out on vehicles, as well as opening menus vehicles. Hopefully this is the last we see of this one. Fixed an issue where this sometimes cause the vehicle weapons to blue bracket crosshair to not be aligned with barrel direction when the vehicle is moving. Fix an impact of sound of some vehicles weapons, including the flak 20mm, the 30mm cannon on the Wildcat. Now for me, honestly, these changes I think are a big deal for the game. I'm glad they're coming. The squad management, the vault weapons attachments coming to the vault weapons, some of the changes for dispersion and for the LMGs across the board and for the vehicles. But what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and it's Tactic Game here, and I'm out. Peace.